Hi everyone, I'm Susan Nutowitz with Let'sFeelExcellent.com or the YouTube channel by the same name. In this blog, I want to talk about, I get a lot of questions about why did I change my diet? I was already eating pretty healthy, and how did I come to be on the raw food vegan diet, and what are the benefits of that diet? And what have they been for me? So I've been on it for a year now, and I'll tell you of how I did sort of little experiments along the way, and what the verdict was of those experiments too. So we're just talking about the diet, but it also goes hand in hand with the state management and portion of my 5 pinnacle system, because I have been a long time food addict. Ever since I was a kid, I've used food for comfort, and I've chosen my food items not necessarily for nutrition. I've always been health conscious. I've always liked to be health conscious, and I've always said, okay, I want my fruits and vegetables in there, but I didn't realize that that choosing those really dense, fatty foods and those cooked foods were actually keeping me in a state of addiction and keeping me away from what I really wanted to accomplish in my life. Because food can be very distracting. It was for me for a long time. So now all of those cravings are gone. Like every once in a while, like an old memory will come up, and I'll say, "Ooh, wouldn't that be nice to have that certain food item?" And it's really kind of laughable. It's sort of like seeing Phyllis Diller in the grocery store or something like that. It's so out of context for who I am now. Plus, physically, I have no need for those kinds of foods anymore. Those very indulgent, over salty, over sugared, high fat foods or excitotoxin foods. I don't have any desire or any need for that kind of thing. I like fruits and vegetables. And I'm really keen to, when I've put just a little too much spice into something, and okay, why did I do that? Or that subconscious old drive for stimulation happens. It can happen with the slightest things, with dehydrated things or frozen foods, or just the smallest little thing. And now I know it's just there's so much more benefit to becoming healthy. And I have done a lot of, I wouldn't call it work, because it's been an absolute pleasure to master state management and to be able to choose whatever kind of emotion that I want to feel in any given moment. That's been really freeing, because I can have energy at any given moment. And I used to have low energy at times, and a lot of times. And I used to think, well, there's something wrong with me physically in those moments, or I need rest or whatever. And it was actually a distraction from what I really wanted out of life, but I didn't really believe that I could have it. So I love that, because a lot of people think that depression and anxiety and stress happens because of everything else out there in the world. And that's not really true. It happens because we choose it to happen. We choose it to happen before the situation even happens, really. So my food choices, my fueling choices really, really have helped a lot with that. The other thing that it's done is it's put things into perspective. I used to wonder and be concerned about food a lot, and a lot of energy used to go into it. Well, are figs really good for you? Or should I really buy organic? Is it really worth it? And do I need that supplement? It sounds good. Should I have it? That kind of thing. All that wondering is gone, and so I am freed of all that time and energy and money that used to go into the deciding factors. I know what my body can use. I know what's fuel for my body, and it's over and it's done. I can go anywhere in the world, and I eat the simplest thing on the planet. I eat fruit and I eat vegetables, and I don't have to cook it. So I don't need a kitchen, I don't need cooking, I don't need plates, I don't need to do dishes. I just peel it, chew it, eat it. That's all I need to do. So I love that. I'm really free of a lot of uncomplications. Now, what has this done for my health? Well, I started having health issues really early on. I was pretty much a spacey kid. I was unclear a lot. I wouldn't call it initially depressed in the beginning. I was really actually a lively kid, but I just became, I just got out of the game of life and just became a little bit more subdued. And then that later on became full-on depression in life. So I had those kinds of challenges, but I also started having back pain at a really early age. I had digestive issues from a really early age. And I guess these were really big problems because nobody in the medical community knew what to do with them. I didn't get any answers whatsoever. I got answers, but they didn't really make any sense. Even when I went to specialists, I would read books from allergists and actually travel to them and say, hey, can you help me? Because I read your book, and what it says in your book, it says that, it seems like what I'm going through. And they would say, absolutely, I can help you with all certainty. And in the end of the day, it would be a lot of time and a lot of money, and they wouldn't be helping me. Their approach wouldn't help me at all. So it's not like the answers weren't around. I just, for some reason, was missing the boat. And I think, sometimes we just need to be hungry for the truth to really reach it. And so I've tried a lot of different diets in my life, and nothing but the low-fat, raw, vegan lifestyle. I wouldn't even call it a diet. I would call it a lifestyle. But nothing has really given me such miraculous changes as following that and managing my state and doing the other three pinnacles as well. So I don't have pain in my soft connective tissue or joints anymore. If I do, I know that that's a sign or signal for something that's going on, and so I can listen to it and pay attention to it, and that's kind of cool because it helps me pick up things. I also don't have to carry thoughts like, hey, did I lock the door, or am I safe here, or anything like that. I have these intuitive messages in my body. They don't always translate in pain, but when they do, I know that there's something going on there that I can pay attention to. Also, if I get busy or travel and I slack on the leverage movement therapy, or there's some kind of reason that I might have a pain issue coming up, I can fix it just like that. It's not a problem at all. So, and it doesn't get to the full-on pain, life-stopping pain that used to happen. So I don't really have a problem with pain anymore. I can have energy for far more energy than I used to without having taking a toll on my body. I don't get sick. I used to get colds and flus all of the time, big colds and flus. That used to take up a lot of time. Digestive issues. I still have a few digestive issues, being a year into it, but those are they're all working their way out. And I have a lot more energy, a lot more availability from my organs in general. I can tell my kidneys are working better, my adrenals are working better, my glands in general are working better, my lungs are working way more better. So these kinds of things are happening. It's great. My skin used to be dried out, and I used to have acne as well. So I used to do a lot to try and have decent skin, and now I have vibrant skin. So that's really nice. It's soft. I don't need a whole bunch of products to have that work out. My hair was getting really thin, like handfuls of hair were coming out, and that's getting thicker again. So, and what's coming out was hair that was very, very thin, and it would break just like nothing. And now, if I do have some hairs that fall out, it's just normal, and the hair is really thick, and I can stretch it, and I can't really break it that easily. So I'm growing new hair, which is really, really nice. I have a fatty deposit on my arm just here, and that fatty deposit came up during massage school. I was a waitress, and then I went to massage school, and so and also a surfer before that too. So my arms were really tired. The tissue in my arms and my hands and my shoulders were really tired. I also have the posture of, just this slumped kyphotic posture that I couldn't restore either. I couldn't stand up straight. I couldn't sit up straight before. So there was a lot of congestion, and so then I got a fatty deposit in my arm. It actually helped me at the time because massage school was excruciatingly painful. We did everything with our thumbs. We did a lot of body work, and a lot of hard body work. It was just very difficult on the hands, and my hands and wrists were really hurting, to the point where it was hard for me to write, because we were doing a lot of writing too. So I grew this fatty deposit and on my forearm, and then I didn't have the pain anymore, but I had this lump there, which I knew was a bunch of toxins. So that is actually decreasing. And I don't know as a body worker or as a healthcare practitioner, I get asked this a lot, but I don't know any other method besides cleaning up your diet that will do that. So if you have these fatty deposits or moles or even freckles, being here in Hawaii, I got a lot of freckles and discoloring to my face. Arteries that poke up, these little arteries that poke up in your cheeks. A lot of times I thought that was sun damage, and it's not, because the diet is really healing my skin, and there's more calcium available to my skin, so I can heal all these things. And so if you have vitiligo or freckles or moles or these fatty deposits, then all those will start to clear up. Varicose veins. I had varicose veins behind my knees. I've had them since probably I started getting them at 12. And they're like spider veins going towards more of the blue veins. And those have been clearing up. It's amazing. They've just been disappearing. Cellulite and dry, wrinkly skin, that's all clearing up. The love handles, I had these little love handles, and they're disappearing now too, which I'm really happy about, because that tells me that my adrenals are working. So I like that a lot. Other things, it's kind of nice to be an uplifter. I can just go check my mail at the post office or go anywhere in public, and people notice. They notice a healthy glow and the energy and my positive attitude, and people, you can tell in their eyes, they're uplifted and they appreciate it. They may not know what's going on. They probably don't know. Doesn't mean that I'm going to turn everybody on to my 5 pinnacle system, and that's okay. But at least I could be an uplifter at that time, which I really love. Okay, so that's the benefits so far. As soon as I can slow down a little bit, I'm going to do a fast and let you know what benefits come from that. Do a couple different kinds of fasts and stuff like that. All right. One more benefit I want to tell you about. So one of the New Year's resolutions that I made this year was I was feeling like being stronger, and on the low-fat raw vegan diet lifestyle, I wanted to know, because I'm a curious person, I wanted to know if I could actually gain muscle, like Dr. Doug Graham talks about. So I wanted to, I've lost a bit of weight, and so I wanted to gain 10 pounds of muscle. And so it's February 5th, and I've already gained 5 pounds of muscle. So I'm halfway there, and it's pretty exciting the way it works. You can just eat fruits and vegetables and do exercise and gain muscle. There's another thing I forgot to tell you, and that is in the course of this year, I haven't been raw vegan the whole time. I've actually done a few experiments on myself. So I have eaten some cooked food by experiment, because I wanted to know if it was really the raw vegan lifestyle that was benefiting me. So the first couple months out, I had some rice. I cooked some rice. I had some rice in the house. And I had a bowl of it. And then for another meal, I had another bowl of it. And the first thing I noticed was I was so flipped out on it. It was so much sugar, and I couldn't concentrate. The brain fog was instantly back. And then after that, I noticed I was really thirsty, incredibly thirsty for just pure water. So that's the second thing I noticed. And then I noticed I went, to town, and I wanted to go in the grocery store and buy some more cooked foods or some more old foods. Like, all those craving memories came up pretty fast, And the next day, this is the most incredible thing, I had pain in several areas of my body. I had back pain, and I had pain in my low back, which was the kidneys. And so there I knew cooked foods and grains were out. But like I said, I had these cravings, and so I went back on the raw vegan, and at that time I was doing too much fat too, so too many nuts and seeds, even though I didn't realize it didn't seem like a lot by anybody's standard. So I decided, I had the cravings. It was like late at night, and I was in Costco, and I decided to get a bag of potato chips. That's vegan. So I had chips, and by the time I finished this enormous bag of potato chips, even though I shared them with friends and my dog and my cat, my one cat eats them. They don't eat a lot, but this was incredible. The reaction was I could barely open my eyes, And it wasn't like a pink eye kind of thing, but around my eye sockets, from the oxalates, all around the eye sockets just became so inflamed and swollen that I could barely open my eyes and have light. You know, I had clients one day when this happened in the morning, and I had to close all the shades because I just couldn't open my eyes. I was so thirsty and so tired, unbelievably tired. So, and again, from the salt, anything that has salt, if you notice, when I teach you how to make these more transitional things, I'll tell you to put this in it or that in it. And if it's salt or something, I'll say, I'm not going to put that in mine unless I'm making it for a potluck or something like that. So the salt will instantly get me back on the distracting track of cravings. So I don't do sea salt. I don't need it. I don't want it. It actually makes me feel like throwing up now, so I don't do it. All right. So I believe that's all I wanted to share with you. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone that you feel would really enjoy it, or just put it on your Facebook page, just share it. You know, that'd be really great. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have questions or comments. I'm Susan Nutowitz with Let'sFeelExcellent.com, wishing you an excellent day. Aloha.